Why would you even consider buying a cell phone for a 5-year-old?
I wouldn't. Even my 11-year-old doesn't have one.
You might consider it after we tell you why it could be very, very useful and very helpful. Yeah. And by the way, they can't make phone calls on it.
Oh, they can't?
No.
Oh, okay.
So that's coming right up on 570 KLIF.
There's a new cell phone out that's being marketed to 5-year-olds. We'll talk about it next. KLIF News and Information Time is now 8:17. Would you buy a cell phone for your 5-year-old? Well, my answer is no. But Sprint is hoping you will. It's come out with a phone that's geared toward kids 5 to 12 years old. And for some insight, let's turn now to education expert Mary Ashmore of Dallas-based Learners Online. And Mary, maybe you'll change my mind here. What's so good about this phone, which is called the WeGo cell phone?
No, I'm not sure. I don't think you're missing a thing. I would say no, too. I raised 2 kids, and they didn't get cell phones till they were 16 years old. I think that they're talking about 2 different things. I understand the safety reasons for having connection with your kids, but I don't know. When my kids were 5, 6, 7, 10, 12, I always knew where they were and who they were with.
Yeah.
And so checking in with them and being connected with them was not a problem.
Yeah, let me take just a moment here to explain the phone. It's called the WeGo. It's by Sprint, and it's a very simple cell phone. I made a mistake a few minutes ago. I said that they can't make calls. They can make calls, but you can decide who they can call. They don't have a touchpad, no dialing. They've got a set menu of names and numbers that you program into it. It's designed for kids 5 to 12. And here's the thing that really would worry me, is that it has a loop piece of plastic attached to a string, and if the child ever feels fearful or in need of, mommy and daddy, he or she can just pull that string. Boy, don't you think they'd be playing with that darn thing all the time?
Yeah, absolutely. I have a 5-year-old nephew, and he would think that it's the most fun gadget on the planet.
So you said you gave your children cell phones at 16. That seems maybe a little late to me. When do you think is a good age? I thought around middle school, when maybe they're staying longer at school and have more after-school activities, things like that.
I agree, Amy. That's changed, I'm sure, quite a bit since when I was raising kids. And that may be where the sweet spot is for this particular device. If they had not said starting at 5, I don't know why they had such a age range, because I think it does have directly to do with responsibility. I mean, my kids had to earn the right to a cell phone and certain things at that age. So I would agree with you. Middle school is fine. If they had come out and said this device is going to help teach responsibility and responsible use of mobile devices and such, that would have been something else, and maybe start them at 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I agree, 100%.
So what is Learners Online?
We're a Dallas-based online publishing company. We've provided web-based curriculum for K-12 since beginning in 1996, even before the World Wide Web, as we know it, came into existence. And we write lessons. We write web lessons for kids of all ages and all subject areas.
I noticed that this phone does not have an internet connection. I guess that's a good thing.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, of course. And then texting. I mean, as it is, sometimes we bury our heads in our devices, and we don't even talk to the person sitting right across the restaurant table from us. So I think just to start them even earlier than as it is, we're not giving kids time to be kids. I think they're growing up way too fast.
Thanks, Mary, for your insight into this, and I'm glad you agree with me.
Absolutely, Amy. And Dave, thank you.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks. It was great talking with you.
Mary Ashmore of Dallas-based Learners Online. It's funny when I go pick up my daughter at high school, and I see all the kids streaming out of the school.
Yeah.
They're all looking down.
Yep.
No, they're all looking down at their phones. Their heads are all down as they're walking.
Yeah.
They don't even know what's around them, what's going on, and they're just walking and looking.
I don't know. These kids today, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
I know. It makes perfect sense of what she's talking about. 5 years old? Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's marketing plan. You know that there are people who will buy them for 5-year-olds.
Oh, yeah. Well, because
So
it's
say
limited. because there is no internet connection, and you can only program the phones. They can't call whoever they want. They can't text whoever they want. So in that terms, if your child needs that at that age, it's probably a better device than some of the other smartphones that are out there.
Yeah, there was something else that was kind of interesting. I hear we didn't get around to saying that you can put the phone in silent mode during school hours or late at night. You can use a web portal to track your child's location. That's a good thing.
But you can also get wristbands to do that, too.
Yeah, you can get text messages when he arrives at school or at home and get alerts if he's traveling in a vehicle that's exceeding the speed limit. Oh, fine. Hello, Amy. Bobby's phone tells me that you're traveling at 35 in a 30-mile-an-hour zone.
It would text me every time I'm driving with a child in the car.
That's what I'm saying. And there's something in it is called an accelerometer in the phone that will even let you know if he's gotten out of bed in time for school. Well, aren't you there? Aren't you there in the house?
Well, I'm not, but my husband is.
Oh, that's right, you're not.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So maybe for people who work early, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. Like she said, I know where my kid is all the time at that age as a 5-year-old. So they don't need a phone.
Yeah.